souls, and welcome back to the Transform with Angel show. I'm your host, Angel Carlton Anderson, and this is your weekly dose of healing, elevation, and the science behind your soul's expansion. This space is for conscious leaders, soul-driven seekers who are ready to awaken their truth, align their purpose, and lead with impact. Together, we're turning self-awareness into aligned action because your mission is unfolding. Your soul purpose is coming alive, and you're meant to walk it with clarity, courage, and an unshakable presence. Today's episode is something I have poured my heart into because I had to learn the hard way about these life principles that I'm about to share with you. It wasn't easy. And I know you've been there. I've been there. I've cried the tears. I've screamed into pillows. I've asked the universe, why does this keep happening? And then I listened, and I healed, and I transformed. And now it's your turn. Let's talk about your memories and how they may be keeping you stuck. And also how to rewire your brain so that you can finally live the life that you know in your bones you're meant to live. I came to the realization the other day that if it weren't for my memories, the bad ones anyway, I probably would be further down my path. However, I'm evolved enough to know that every experience serves a purpose, and it happens for my own good as an opportunity to grow, evolve, and get to know who I am. Yes, all those experiences definitely served that purpose. But at some point, you have to say, thanks for the memory, I got the lesson, and you can hit the road now. Because those painful memories can linger in our long-term memory, preventing us from being our best selves, fulfilling our soul mission, and giving us the courage to do what we came to this planet to do. So listen carefully to what I'm about to share with you. See where you may have fallen into the same trap, and then make a decision to shine the light on it. See it for what it is and watch it dissolve. And then proceed on your path with an unstoppable fire in your soul. Let's talk a little bit about memory and manifestation. What's the connection here? First off, memory is not just a little filing cabinet in our mind, which is how I sort of envision it, and those files are sometimes really hard to find these days. It's more like an operating system. And if you are running on outdated, corrupted code, guess what? Guess what you're going to manifest? More of the same. So if you keep repeating that memory, it keeps popping up, the fear, because the last time you might have failed at it, you're going to get more experiences of that. I thought this was interesting. According to Harvard neuroscientist Dr. Joe Dispenza, I know I talk about him a lot, but I am a huge fan of his work. 95% of who you are by the age of 35 is a memorized set of behaviors, emotional reactions, and beliefs. That means if you don't update that operating system, you stay stuck. period. You become that person, you believe what you believe, and you don't ever change. That's until the next circumstance comes along and forces you to change. But we'll save that topic for another podcast episode. Let's take a look at the 4 core areas you must heal in order to manifest your next level. Love, trust, belief, and connection. Let's start with love. We should always start with love. Love should always be our starting point with everything we do. When does the heart get tainted? Like, we were born from love. Our soul is just a ball of love energy, high vibrational love energy. I believe that. So let me ask you something. Have you ever loved someone so deeply only to have that love shatter into pieces? Oh, just thinking about that breaks my heart. Did that heartbreak teach you to close your heart, even to yourself? Maybe even feel you're not worthy of love? I feel you. I see you. I was you. But here's the truth. Love is still who you are. The pain is what happened. But that is not your forever story. When we experience emotional trauma, the amygdala, our brain's fear center, gets activated and it remembers pain vividly. That's just what happened when I was asking you that question. It recalled that same pain that I experienced once. So every time love presents itself again, your brain's like, no, this is a danger zone. Danger, danger, danger. Don't go there. Red flag, red flashing lights, caution signs, all that happens. So are you still battling those old wounds from heartbreak that prevent you from believing in love again? We often do find it difficult to love, even ourselves, once our hearts have been broken. This is false evidence appearing real. Yes, F-E-A-R, fear. And it's time to dissolve that memory, for it no longer serves you. Who doesn't want love? We can't go on through life without love. So take the lesson, the gift of being able to feel that sadness so that you know what happiness feels like, to feel the lack of love so that you will appreciate what love feels like when it shows up. Take these profound lessons and move on. Here's some ways to begin healing from heartbreak so you don't have to carry these memories with you any further than this episode right now, than this moment. 1, write a closure letter. You don't have to send it, but write a letter to the person or the situation that broke your heart. And be sure to include a thank you note saying thank you. Because I have experienced this, I'm able to know what love feels like. Because I know what love isn't, I now know what love is. And then do some mirror work. Look into your eyes daily in the mirror and say, I am lovable. I am worthy of love. And even more powerful than that, I love you. When you love yourself, then people will feel worthy to love you as well. And then finally, it's time to reparent your inner wounds. Take some time to talk to yourself with compassion, just like you are a child. Be kind to yourself because that inner child is still in there. Just because we're in grown-up bodies does not mean we have grown up. So love, Be mindful of love today and self-love so that you can clear the memories and get back on your path. The next one is trust. This is a big one. This is the silent saboteur. Have you ever been betrayed so badly that you didn't just stop trusting others, you stopped trusting yourself? Ooh, that betrayal hijacks the hippocampus, which stores memory and context in our brain. It links the event with feelings of powerlessness and fear. But in order to co-create your life with the universe, you must trust, not only in divine timing, but in your own resilience. We must trust without a shadow of a doubt in order to manifest our destiny. It's time to let that memory of betrayal go. It served its purpose to move you perhaps toward another path, to release certain people or circumstances from your lives that didn't align, but it's time to say goodbye. Thanking the universe for the experience that brought you to this point. You may have lost trust in people, but in your heart, you never lost trust in the divine plan. That this betrayal has played such a key role to get you closer to your truest self. That betrayal is a tough one. It could leave a very deep, deep, deep wound within us, making it difficult to move beyond. But if you're going to fulfill your mission, your calling, you have to work through those memories of betrayal and dissolve them. It's time. You've held on to it long enough. So here's some ways to rebuild trust. Keep small promises to yourself daily. Integrity breeds trust. If you promise yourself you're going to do something, maybe 30 minutes of exercise, follow through. If you're going to lie to yourself, then how are people ever going to trust you? They see that you can't even keep your own word. So that's really a huge one. Next, I believe in the power of affirmations. And use something like, it's safe to trust myself. Or I trust fully in my potential. Or trusting myself leads to success. Trusting myself leads to prosperity. Trusting myself leads to a better life. And it does, because you have to trust yourself to trust the universe. You are one with the universe, essentially. The next thing you can do is visualize your future self making confident, aligned decisions. Joe Dispenza says this a lot. Fall in love with your future. I say fall in love with your future self, because they are confident. They are aligned with your soul's mission. And what little steps you take today, your future self is going to thank you for and celebrate you for. But you have to start making those changes today. If you need to seek therapy, seek therapy. Betrayal is something that is difficult to overcome, but talking through it with somebody definitely can help. It'll also help you process those traumatic memories and reframe them so they have a positive outcome. And that's really important. The next element is belief. This is your identity's blueprint. What you believe is essentially who you are. Your beliefs make up your thoughts, and your thoughts make up your feelings and actions, and your filter the way you see life. So let me be blunt. If you don't believe in yourself, you will never manifest what you desire. Period. Why? Because Belief is the signal you send out to the quantum field where all the magic happens, and it's determined whether you're worthy of manifesting what you say you want to manifest. But if you don't have that innate belief about it, that it is what you are worthy of, it will not come your way. Many of us stopped believing in ourselves after making a mistake or failing at some point or being shamed by some experience that we've had. I have interviewed so many incredible leaders. We're talking CEOs of major companies, professional athletes, celebrities, people that have literally made it to the top. And when we ask them, what was your greatest life lesson? What did you learn from it? 99% of them said failure. When I failed, that was the turning point in my life. Because they kept going. It built resilience. They weren't afraid to take risks. They believed in themselves. And I'm talking about you believing in yourself. How can we possibly manifest the life of our dreams if we don't believe it's possible? That doesn't make sense. We can't. And so we must get to the root cause of when we began not believing in ourselves. Nip it in the bud, and then reform new beliefs about who you truly are. Perhaps you made some poor choices that caused you to feel guilt or shame. Shame is definitely one of the culprits for us lacking self-belief. So if you're wondering, where did the belief in myself go? Go back to a time where you made a choice that involved shame as the outcome. Not intentionally. We don't do things saying, oh, I can't wait to feel the shame from this. It just kind of grows and evolves after a certain decision is made. Knowing something's wrong and you do it anyway, that guilt, we've all felt it. We've all made bad choices. I have to believe every one of us listening today has done it. And so you're not alone. You're not alone in knowing what shame feels like. We are human, and that damn free will gets us every time one way or another, right? We come here as these loving little souls, but then we have free will to choose whatever we want while we're here. It's a little tempting. And so we do. Some people, and I don't know how, but some people can actually sweep shame under the rug as if it never happened and proceed with life without a hitch. Good for them, I say. I am a very empathetic, compassionate person, however, maybe a little too self-analytical at times. If you're like me, then we will wallow in it until it forms another layer around us, becoming who we are. And then you feel like as if people can see the shame before they can actually see who you truly are. And then it's that layer prevents us from allowing the goodness into our life. It blocks it, and it also blocks us from allowing that goodness to come out. So we have to dissolve that layer of shame that we've carried around for God knows how long. Shame is a soul killer, a spirit dwindler. And in order to manifest a life of fulfillment, we must dismantle that memory that caused us to feel shame about ourselves. Let's talk about shame for a minute, because this is a big one. Brene Brown drops the truth here, talking about shame versus guilt. This really resonated with me. Guilt equals, I did something bad. Shame equals, I am bad. That's that filter. That's that layer I was talking about. It's one thing to say, oh, I did a bad thing. Forgive yourself and move on. Shame, I am bad. That's a lot deeper. That's a little tougher to overcome. Shame hijacks your anterior cingulate cortex in your brain, locking you in loops of self-hatred and self-sabotage. You've got to break this pattern. We can break these patterns. You have control over your brain activity. Something called neuroplasticity. We'll get into that here. Here's another thing to keep in mind. According to the Journal of Clinical Psychology, shame correlates strongly with depression, anxiety, and addiction. So think about shame and then the choices you've made since then. Some powerful shit. So how do we overcome shame? Recognize it and name it. I'm feeling shame. Takes the power away. It really does. Speak it. Shame hates being spoken. Shame loves to be hidden behind the scenes. It loves to be that layer. But when you speak about it, you just dissolve that layer, comes down, and your true self can be seen again. Practice self-compassion. Research shows that compassion does rewire the brain and helps you overcome those self-sabotaging thoughts. When you say kind things to yourself and replace those self-hatred thoughts, that's how you rewire your brain. Therapy, compassion behavioral therapy, compassion focused therapy, it is proven to reduce shame as well. And this is by Gilbert and Proctor, 2006. They did come up with this study, and I am a big fan in therapy or life coaching to get you to that next level. And the next thing is be vulnerable. Vulnerability. Brene Brown shares a lot about vulnerability. So share your story. And if you need someone to share it with me. Your secret is safe here. Email me, DM me on social media. We can heal in connection. Speaking of connection, this really is the next element that prevents us from living out our life purpose. When I say connection, I'm talking about remembering who you are. Here's what they don't want you to know. Okay. We are not separate. We are one energy, one soul field, one divine consciousness. The only thing separating us is this human body that's giving us the illusion that we're separate. But trust me, when we're outside of this human body, you'll see very clearly that we are all one. And we did come to Earth to experience separateness so that we know what oneness is. Connection between TikTok, the news, politics, social chaos, and capitalism, we forget that. We forget our ability to connect on a deep, deep level. And this is intentional, I believe, because a disconnected human is a controlled human. I'm going to stop it right there. These distractions do create short-term memory overload, which makes it much harder to stay connected to Source, our Almighty Creator, God, Holy Spirit, whatever it is you believe in, and our higher self. It's like they know the power of distractions, and they're keeping us distracted through the screens that we are watching. Be mindful of this. Please create some self-awareness around the screens and what you're intaking and how it's impacting your connection, our connection to one another. I mean, connection truly is a very important element in manifesting your best life. We truly need to rise above it so that we may evolve beyond the distractions that separate us. There are evil forces on this planet, unfortunately, I believe, that are intentionally separating us and doing a damn fine job of it so that we won't evolve. But to their surprise, many of us are awakening and evolving to a higher state of consciousness and awareness where love and compassion do reside. We are living in magical times. Although the world doesn't display it, they are. But we never know it. Look at it, watching the news. Please turn the news off. I mean, we as a species are waking up to knowing who we are and why we're here, and new truths about life. And right now we are seeing the contrast out there so that we may know the truth. If you've made it this far listening to this podcast, then you are absolutely one of them. So welcome aboard. I mean, now more than ever, we have to become aware of these distractions. I cannot stress this enough. Some distractions to be aware of are cell phones. Oh my gosh. These cell phones have been in our lives for a long time now. And if you're like me, I can't go anywhere without it in my hand. I have to intentionally break free from it. I was just talking to Brad, my husband, about let's just have a day where we leave our cell phones at home. Can we do it? There's a fear of not being connected through our cell phones. What if an emergency happens? My God, we lived through the 80s and 90s practically without cell phones, and life was wonderful. You really depended on each other, strangers, to help you. I mean, I remember getting into a car accident. We didn't have cell phones. I had to go to the closest house and knock on their door and ask them to use their telephone. And that worked just fine. So cell phones, what you have to ask, what is it I am constantly looking at? Social media. We're all addicted. We're addicted to seeing the drama. It's also a form of connection, however, but be mindful of how much time you're spending on social media. The dopamine in our brain wants to see what's going on in the world, and you're scrolling, but nothing's really fulfilling you. The dopamine is anticipating something good or some drama or something that's going to ignite some emotional response. And that's what you're looking for. We're addicted to the drama. And that's usually found on social media. So be mindful of that. The news cycles. Oh my gosh. The fear. There's nothing good in the news anymore. Be mindful of the fear that we're being fed every day, day in, day out, and the beliefs that they're trying to instill in each of us. We are capable of forming our own beliefs based on truth and love, not on what some journalist is reporting and telling us what to believe. Just please be mindful of that. Toxic relationships will be a distraction for sure. Toxic relationships will distract us from feeling love for ourselves. Leave them. Find the courage, find a way out. If it's killing your soul and dismantling your spirit and taking away from who you truly are, it's time to go. If you need help, please reach out to me. Another distraction, gossip and low vibrational conversations. I really try not to engage in these types of conversations. I literally will check out. Somebody's talking about another person and they did this, or I really don't participate. I don't give it any of my energy. I think that's really important. Remove yourself from those situations. I've even had to tell people, if you're calling me to gossip, please just hang up and call somebody else. I'm not your person to gossip or even listen to it. If you want solutions, I'm your person to talk to. But if you're simply calling to gossip, call someone else. Anyway, to my point, if you want to manifest the life of your dreams, you must connect to your truth. Stop listening to the fake news that your memory stirred up and start connecting on a soul level again. First with you, then with that higher power, and then each other. Because we can rewire our brain through, I mentioned it earlier, neuroplasticity. Yes, you absolutely can rewire your brain. People are like, no, I am who I am. Not true. It's real science. It's been proven. Harvard Medical School confirms that the brain can form new neural pathways throughout our life. But how do we do that? Well, it takes a little effort, takes some intention. Number one, learn something new. Maybe a new language, maybe an art, coding, learn a new dance. It builds new connections. I'm learning neuroscience because I'm fascinated with it. I'm fascinated with the ability to change. I'm fascinated with change and transformation. Not sure why, but I feel like this is my soul mission to help people through this process here on this planet because it is so difficult. But learn something new, whatever it is, find something you're passionate about and go learn. Take a course. Somatic movement is another way to rewire the brain. Yes, yoga, Tai Chi, walking meditations that activate the mind-body connection, breathing. Yoga is a game changer for me. When I go within and I focus on the energy movement within my body, I come out of my yoga practice a different person, completely different person, more calm, peaceful, and a sense of serenity, like I can take on the day. The days that I don't do yoga, I'm a little scatterbrained. It's a tremendous difference. So yoga, big one. Another one is positive thought replacement. Practice saying something like, this is possible for me, instead of this is hard. It could be just something that simple. Or instead of saying, I can't do this, say, I'm up for the challenge. Another one is mindfulness and gratitude. It's proven. UCLA Mindfulness Awareness Research Center, I love that 21 days of gratitude rewires the brain for abundance. 21 days. You want abundance? You can have it in just 21 days. Just be grateful for something. Start your day with gratitude. Let that be the first thought in the morning, instead of thinking about the problems or what you have to face, or I don't want to go to work, or no, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this life. I'm grateful for this great night's sleep I just had. I'm grateful for my family, my dog, the ability to go to work. And that's another thing. You don't have to go to work. I get to go to work. That changes the whole dynamic. I don't have to work out. Oh, I have to work out. No, I get to work out. I get to dedicate part of my day toward making my body healthy. I'm grateful for that. There's a difference. Another one is community, which helps rebuild the neural pathways in our brain for connection. Healing happens in safe, supportive environments. Seek out those high vibe people. Find your tribe. Be very selective. Because some people will present themselves, they'll have a hidden agenda, but you want people who are truly authentic and have a similar mission as you. They're on the path, and you can help each other down that path, build your community. And then there are brain rewiring programs, tools like what Dr. Joe Dispenza offers, meditations. You can go on YouTube and search Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditation. I encourage you to try one. Extremely powerful. NLP, neuro-linguistics programming. And don't forget, my transformational coaching program that can help reprogram from the root. It is a very gentle approach toward rewiring, transforming, and becoming. I take you from where you are to where you want to go, literally through a process. You can reach out to me if you want to learn more about my transformation coaching program. Very powerful stuff. It's what worked for me. So I'm walking proof that this process does work. All right, let's sum this podcast up. Here's the truth, my darlings. You were never broken. That's not what this is about. You were just imprinted by memories that weren't yours to keep carrying. You don't need to become someone new. You just need to remember who you are. Love, trust, belief in yourself, connection. These aren't just feel-good words. They truly are the foundations for manifesting your destiny. When you rewire the memories that distorted these truths, you return home to yourself. Hey, and if you're ready to truly dissolve the energy that's holding you back, that's what I'm really, really good at helping you do. I'm inviting you to schedule a free 30-minute consultation with me. Go to transformwithangel.com. Click on my calendar to schedule a meeting. You are not alone. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. As I always like to do is finish up the show with a powerful affirmation. So repeat after me, say these words with conviction. I release the memories that no longer serve me. I trust in my divine timing. I believe in who I am becoming. I am love. I am connected. I am free. And it's time to free ourselves from the memories that hold us back from being our best selves, living out our full potential, and being the most fulfilled and happy human beings we could possibly be. And that's the name of the game, isn't it? So repeat that affirmation out loud. Feel it in your heart. You are not your past. You are your potential. Let it rise. Sending so much love. I will see you next time on the Transform with Angel show. Bye for now. Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you being here. I just wanted to remind you to please leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. If you resonated with this video, be sure to hit that like button, share it with somebody, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. While you're happy clicking away, go ahead and visit transformwithangel.com. Download your free copy of my latest book, How to Conquer Anything. It's a guide to get you through these transformative times. Can't wait to see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.